Hey guys, so today we're actually going to take a look at the details for all the Dragon Ball Heroes units coming to JP Dokkan Battle. Should be in a few hours from me recording this, but by the time this video goes live, the units should already be live in the game, and they should be available to be pulled from the collaboration banner. Just a side note, by the way, I did configure a bunch of my microphone's filters, so let me know if my voice sounds better. I think it should sound better. Just had a lot of unnecessary stuff on there that I got rid of, and then I added some other stuff, so hopefully it's much clearer, much crisper, so let me know about that. But anyway, it's kind of weird looking at the translations here because, I mean, obviously done by this extremely handsome gentleman who's very well known on the subreddit, so shout out to him. But let's go ahead and take a look at all these units. I'm not going to go super in-depth, but I do want to point out a few things that I think are noteworthy about, each unit. And at the end, we'll kind of wrap up with my thoughts overall. But just before we get started, they added. Let's just start with this. They added a new category, right? They added the Dragon Ball Heroes category to the game. And if you guys watch the Dokkan podcast that I do every week on Saturdays with Noir, Talon, and Speedy, we actually talked about this briefly this past episode, where we talked about the Heroes banner. And then we also mentioned that they usually end up dropping a Dokkan Festival banner either the next week or beginning of December. And those historically have been, I think, 3 years ago at this point. It was Vegito Blue and Rose, which had nothing to do with Heroes really, because I mean there weren't really that many Heroes units out in the game. But then 2 years ago was when they had that like 7. Was it that 7 one? No, that was last year. But 2 years ago was when they had Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, and that's when I believe they dropped Super Saiyan 3 Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. So that kind of coincided with that. And obviously Bardock was Super Saiyan 3 leader, so he helped out those two units a lot. And then last year they dropped Goku Black, who's the Time Traveler leader. And as you guys know, like 90, I think literally every single Heroes unit is on Time Traveler, except for like maybe 1 or 2. So every single time they do Heroes, at least the past 2 times, they've dropped a Dokkan Fest unit to, I guess, sort of support them and include them on their category. So we're seeing the category drop ahead of time here with the Dragon Ball Heroes. And the reason I say ahead of time is because I believe this is a great time for them to actually introduce the first ever Dragon Ball Heroes Dokkan Festival exclusive unit. And I mentioned this in the podcast too, but I think Super Saiyan God Trunks is actually extremely likely. We just got Super Saiyan God Goku LR. And they had that like whole 9th anniversary for Dragon Ball Heroes stream where they revealed God Trunks. He was one of the SEC units coming in the 11th set of the Universe mission. So he honestly seems like a perfect pick for me to lead the Dragon Ball Heroes category. And a lot of you guys might be thinking, well, like you've already mentioned, Time Travelers is just a glorified Dragon Ball Heroes category. And I agree to an extent, but you can also take a look at the Wicked Bloodline category. I think, it's 170% across the board. So, I don't know, because also the Conquest of Terror category, and I think every single Wicked Bloodline character is included in Conquest of Terror that's relevant, except for Angel Gold and Frieza. So, I mean, it's basically the same category, with Conquest of Terror being obviously the bigger one, and honestly, probably better. But it certainly is possible that we do get this Dragon Ball Heroes category fleshed out a little bit more with Dokkan Festival exclusive, maybe an extra banner unit thrown in there as well. I don't know what they would put in there. But yeah, so here we go. Got Golden Cooler, finally. The one of the best characters in the entire franchise. Just kidding. So he's actually like a necessary unit that you kind of want to run on this team because 100% attack and defense, and then they're doing this sort of same thing where they have a unit that can defend themselves well. They can put out decent numbers, and then they're also supporting the team. So it's just a trend that they continue to do, and we see that with Strength Cooler, we saw that with In Future Gohan, we saw that all the way back to the Father Son Gallic on Physical Trunks and Tech Vegeta. Plus, he gets additional attack and defense, plus, he attacks multiple times if there's Dragon Ball Heroes category allies, so I mean, this guy's just going to be like one of the staples of the team forever, probably. Does immense damage, by the way. That's something else to note, as most of these guys now do immense damage on super attack, which is obviously very good. He also instantly resists attack. Only thing that's weak here are those links, which wouldn't say they're necessarily weak because he has like the Frieza race links, which are good, but I mean Brainiacs. Why does Cooler have Brainiacs? I don't know. Why does he have Rival Duo? It just really makes sense. I don't know. But I mean, definitely going to be a strong addition to the Dragon Ball Heroes team. Definitely could work well on Wicked Bloodline as well. Transformation boost can work well alongside the Transforming Cooler. The only thing about this guy is he's not on Conquest of Terror. So if you're running this guy alongside the Strength Transforming Cooler, he's not going to be getting his support passive if you're fighting multiple enemies, which is kind of annoying, right? But imagine if that was the case, he'd be getting that support passive from him, and he'd also be supporting his allies with 20% tag defense and 2 key. That would be ridiculous. So next we have Super Fu. I think a lot of people are, I don't want to say like overrating this guy, but he's definitely good. But I don't know if he's like, he's definitely not better than Golden Cooler. I think Golden Cooler is the best new unit that's come out, just because he's so flexible. He's, you know, provides key and does all this stuff. So it's not even an issue that his links are that bad. But I mean, Fu, he does get key, which is good because his links are god awful. Let's just go through his links. Brainiacs, Demon Duo, Innocence, Cold Judgment, Rival Duo, Infighter, Shattering the Limit. Brainiacs is pretty bad. Demon Duo is horrible. The Innocence is okay. Cold Judgment is pretty good actually because a lot of these Heroes units do have Cold Judgment. Rival Duo is also pretty good because a lot of these units, Heroes units have Rival Duo. Infighter is not great. Shattering the Limit is okay. So I mean, some dead links in here, not really going to be too good. I mean, you're going to have, I mean, he's only on 2 categories too, like Dragon Ball Heroes and Time Travelers. So I mean, like, if you're going to pair him up with someone like Int Mai, the one that just got awakened on Global, then I can see this guy being pretty good. But I don't know if you want to necessarily do that because there's much better rotations you could be running, right? But I guess if you want to just use this guy and have fun, then that's what you could do. He probably can get up to somewhere around like mid 2 millions, maybe 2.5, something like that. But his defense, oh, let's pull up, let's see if we can actually pull up like the stats and stuff. I don't know if DBZ Space ever updated, because I know there was an issue with the app update that like sort of threw everything off. But I think at this point, it's been like almost 24 hours since the download. It should have it. Okay, we do. Let's pull this over here. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the stats here because I feel like it's pretty misleading these days. They give these units like for example, Demon King Piccolo, Strength 1, has 200% attack, but he has like the worst stats known to man. So it doesn't even matter what his attack percentage is in his passive. So Golden Cooler, let's see what his max potential is. So actually, it's okay. It's again, it's not amazing. This is what you typically get with these Heroes units. They have incredibly impressive passives, but then you look at their stats and it's like, oh, okay, well that's, you know, it's not going to scale that great off of like such a base value, such a low base value. I mean, it's not low, but it's not like premium like Dokkan Fest exclusive. Like Strength Cooler has like 17,000 attack. So I mean, that's the difference, right? Here's Fu. Let's see what he gets up to. His defense is pretty low. Defense is almost 700 lower than Cooler. Attack is not great. So again, like I was saying, even though he gets 150% attack and defense on Super Attack launch, it's not going to look as impressive as if someone like, you know, even the Dokkan Fest Strength Super Saiyan 4 Goku gets 150% at the start of turn. He's going to have an average attack stat probably higher than this guy with, you know, the same amount of links active and stuff. So that's Fu. The dodge chance is nice, but again, I don't think he's like incredibly impressive to me, at least. Then we have the Great Ape Transforming Cumber. So the thing with this guy is he obviously is a Great Ape Transforming unit. I'm not sure this currently is still applicable here because I don't know if he has anything special in his transformed state. I assume no, but I don't know for sure, so I just can't. I'm not going to be able to comment on that right now. His stats are similar to what we've seen. I mean, like, literally they have very similar stats across the board here. Fu actually has a decent amount of HP, but 14,900, you know, somewhere of like a little bit under 15,000 attack is what we're seeing here at the rainbow level, which is, it's alright. It's not anything spectacular. Let's just say that. So, again, we see this massive passive of 150% attack. I saw people going like, oh my god, like Cumber is going to be hitting like 4 million attack and like have 200,000 defense, 150%. No, that's not the case because again, look at his stats. They're not at a value where a multiplier of this value is going to, you know, boost this up to, you know, that high of a stat. But he has a high chance to stun superclass enemies when receiving an attack, and this is actually interesting. Because this is the first time we're seeing this mechanic. We also do see this all the way down here because there's so many units with the free-to-play card, but we'll get into that later. I actually really like this because it shows me that they're actually putting an effort to implement new styles of play to the game, and I think that's really cool. So again, high chance to stun superclass enemies when receiving an attack is really interesting. And then a high chance to transform when HP 50% or below once only. So I mean, that's him. He has decent links too. I mean, Super Saiyan, Saiyan Lineage, Toughest Nails. Toughest Nails is okay. Saiyan Roar's really good because you can pair him up with, you know, the great IP units with Tora, with Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So there he's good. He has his transform link, which is okay. Prepare for Battle is obviously premium, and then Shattering the Limit. You know, all these units have Shattering the Limit. So if you're going to run this guy on the Dragon Ball Heroes category, he will work well because obviously Shattering the Limit and then Prepared for Battle. I mean, I don't know how many people have Prepared for Battle on that team. Probably not too much because the Super Saiyan 3s don't have that. But now we're starting to get into the stuff that gets ridiculous. I mean, I think Golden Cooler is probably in the realm of ridiculous too, but we'll just pull up these two right now. So here's what we're seeing: 3 Vegeta Awakened. Again, stats are, you know, on par with what we've been seeing so far. But his passive is so ridiculous that I think it doesn't even matter that his stats are that low. So attack and defense plus 100%. Disables enemies guard, which really doesn't really matter at this point. He gains 7% additional attack, defense, and critical hit chance per Dragon Ball Heroes category allies. So again, they want you to run this guy along other Dragon Ball Heroes units, which means you're going to be running this category. Because we don't really have a true leader for this category. Oh yeah, by the way, Fu's leader skill is the best one that we currently have for Dragon Ball Heroes. But again, it's not like a true category Dokkan Fest level leader skill for this category, which is why another reason why I think we'll definitely be getting something like that, shortly, I think. So yeah, disables enemy's guard, and then he gets, so that's what, 35% attack and defense, so he's at 135%, and then he gets an additional 50% when launching a super attack. So this and this are start of turn bonuses. And then you get this multiplied into that 135% when he launches a super attack, which is a lot. So, I mean, this guy's going to be busting out, like, again, similar numbers to this Super Fu, but I think this guy just has better links. He has high crit chance. And I don't know. It's just so many more teams he's on. I like this guy a lot. I think this guy's obviously going to be doing more damage than Fu is, but it's possible Fu is better tank. I mean, when you factor in the chance to evade, it's highly likely. His links are just garbage, though, so I don't know. There's Vegeta. Vegeta's very good. This guy is... So he has a very low defensive stat, right? He has a similar defensive stat to Fu's, which I said was low, so 9,070. This guy's 9,088, so it's like 18 higher. This guy doesn't need a high defensive stat to be a top 10 unit in the game in terms of TURs. I think he is the best non-Dokkan Festival exclusive TUR in the game. And I think he's better than like most Dokkan Fest exclusives as well. We'll just go ahead and take a look at what he does. So he has a chance to stun on super attack. Notice they didn't give him like 2 effects on here because he would be ridiculous. So attack and demons plus 100%. He's actually very similar to Vegeta. Attack and demons plus 100%. Guard activated against all attacks, which we've come to learn with the Easying of Janemba that is a stupidly good ability to have when you also have defense in your passive. He gains an additional 50% attack when super attack is launched, so he does have that part of the Vegeta's passive. So 150% base. No. So that's going to be, so you're going to start with 100, and then this is going to multiply into that when you launch your super attack. So he's not going to be hitting for as hard as this Vegeta is, but this guy gets 7% damage reduction, up to 35%. So if you have 5 Dragon Ball Heroes allies on your team, you're going to have 35% damage reduction, you're going to have 100% defense, and you're going to be guarding against all attacks. And you have a chance to stun. So this guy's going to be taking literally no damage. I think... So the hardest hitting event in the game, besides like, gimmicky things like the Spirit Bomb and the UI Goku Dokkan event, is the UI Goku in the Legendary Goku event. And I don't even think that guy would be able to do that much damage to this guy. I mean, if you have like this guy in rotation with no support and he just got super attacked by him, I think this guy wouldn't even take 100,000 damage, which is nuts. Like, this guy would probably take like 70k damage from a super attack from UI Goku. Like, something like that is what I would imagine. Which is, by itself, like, that's like a worst case scenario too, right? Because hardest hitting event in the game with no support, and this guy's taking not even like 80k damage. I don't think he would. I mean, I have to see for myself. this guy can't be hurt. Like, you just throw this guy anywhere, and it's just like, if you had to, so the way I sort of gauge how like insane the unit is if you had a party of 6 of this guy, like, would you just be able to just face roll everything in the game? And I think the answer is just yes. Even Super Battle Road, you would just have nothing to worry about at all. You would just, it's just ridiculous. Like, this guy's better. Like, this guy's honestly a better tank than Janemba, EZA Janemba, because he has this damage reduction. Granted, Janemba has a chance to dodge, but I think in terms of reliability, this is obviously better. I'll take the 35% damage reduction over the dodge chance that Janemba has any day of the week. Now, granted, Janemba will have a higher defensive stat because of the fact that he has higher stats, being an EZA unit, but I don't know, man. This guy is just ridiculous. I'm not saying this guy's better than Janemba. I'm saying Janemba is definitely still better because he would hit a lot harder, and he has better links, probably on a villain team than this guy has on a hero team. But this guy's, like, in terms of, like, defensiveness, and, like, he's not going to be a slouch offensively either. He's going to hit for, like, 2 million. So, Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, Saiyan Lineage, Kamehameha over a Flash, and Breaking Form, Shadow Limit. Very good links. I mean, you link this guy up with LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he's going to, like, auto 18K Super almost. So, I don't know. Going to be pretty much insane on every single one of these teams, especially Time Travelers, because you can make use of this the most. Same thing with Dragon Ball Heroes, but we're waiting for their leader for that team. So, easily the best unit here. I'm just going to say that right now. We have Supreme Kai of Time, who actually got an Awakening. I was a little surprised, actually, because I didn't think she would get Awakening yet. She actually massively raises defense on Super Attack, which is... I hope people understand how good that is. The only other unit that I believe massively raises defense... Or sorry, did I say attack? I meant defense. The only other unit that I know of that massively raises defense to any degree is LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku. Because it's a 100% defense raise for 1 turn. And you're not going to have this unit on rotation most of the time, which means that she's going to be supering before getting hit almost every time. So this is going to have insane value, and she also seals. So if you're fighting one enemy, and they're able to be sealed, you massively raise your defense for 1 turn, and you seal them, they're going to be doing a normal attack on you, and you're literally going to be taking no damage, because you're going to have your defense massively raised already. In terms of her passive, she didn't really get that buffed that much. I mean, 30% is nice. 3 keys, obviously very nice. And then, what did she actually go up from? I don't remember what she used to have. Let's see. So she had 2 key and 20%. Actually, that is a significant increase, actually. So definitely really good. I don't really know what else they could have done to make her better. I mean, maybe they could have given her like some sort of defense in her passive, but she honestly doesn't need it with this. Links are pretty bad, though. I mean, she can link up really well with Chow Man. Hey. Okay, so Gotenk Zeno. This is interesting, though, because let's actually back up for a second. Go to categories. Let's go to Dragon Ball Heroes. I believe this... Where is he? Is he even in here? Yes, this Gotenk. So this Gotenk was given out as a gift. I don't think Global ever got this card. This is a Gotenks unit. And let's actually pull up the other Gotenks. Did I pull up already? No. Where is he? Let's go back here to schedule. Where are you? Right here. Look at his name. Look at the old one's name. It's Gotenks, and then this is like teen, adolescent, whatever you want to call it. But then this one is Gotenk Zeno. So these are different characters, right? It's kind of interesting. So you can technically run both these on the same... If this guy ever got an Awakening, obviously he's free to play, and he was given that as a reward, like... Not even a reward, just like, I think it was like a login bonus thing when the first ever Heroes collab came, like 2016 or something. You can run these guys next to each other, together, and I don't know. They come out with a future character like this, and I don't know. This guy's actually pretty good. Let's go over him. Oh, by the way, so from now on, we're going over characters who currently don't awaken. So these 3 fusion characters do not awaken yet. So this is them just at a normal level 100 level UR unit. So Super Attack is lower attack and defense, not bad. Attack and defense plus 70% at the start of turn, and then he gains an additional attack and defense plus 20% for every Super Attack launch, max of 80%. So you're going to want to give this guy additionals, it looks like. I mean, he does lower attack. I mean, I guess he would do more damage with crits, especially if you're going up against a longer fight. He also has additional, so you could just do 11 additional 15 crit if you wanted. But I mean, he's going to get pretty high attack if you get this fully stacked up, and defense too. I mean, 150% defense. It looks like, unless this is calculated differently. I don't believe it is. And then he performs an additional super attack if the target enemy is in the seal status. So actually, you might want to go additionals on this guy, depending on how often you're able to get the enemy sealed. I mean, you run this guy next to Supreme Cat Titan with seals. You run this guy next to Fu who seals. So a decent amount of units who can seal now on this team. He's good. He is in addition to the fusions category, which hasn't seen a new unit in quite a while, so I'm fine with that. And just keep in mind, he will get an awakening eventually. So now we're moving on to this Vegeks unit. Where are you? Where are you? Right here. Alright. Actually, I didn't look at the stats of this guy. What's this guy's stats? Oh, that's the free-to-play one. We don't care about him. Yeah. I mean, his defense is actually not terrible. Attack, obviously he's unawakened, so it's going to be lower than the other ones, but that's just how it is for now. This one's 14,000, 9,000. This is more in line with what we've seen. I mean, obviously lower attack because the other ones are close to 15, but he's definitely not going to be bad when he awakens. I mean, we'll see. He actually infinitely raises his defense, so that's already very good. You could already tells me you want to go additionals with this guy. So his attack and defense plus 70% when launching a super attack. So very similar to this guy, except it's one launching a super attack and not start a turn. Gains critical hit chance plus 7% for every super attack launched. So this screams go for additionals. Perform an additional super attack if the target enemy is in the attack down status or defense down status. Okay, that's fairly easy to do. I don't know. I mean, it's just this guy's good. When he gets an awakening, he's going to be really good too. He's also on Patara, which hasn't seen a new unit in a long time. I think was the last Patara unit. AGL Zamasu? It might be. Unless you want to count like the Candy Vegito. I don't even know if he's on, but I don't remember. But this team barely sees new units come out. So whenever one does come out for Patara, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, he gets 70% in the additionals, and then he gets more crit. So I don't know. He seems pretty good to me. Then we have Gohan Zeno. Where are you? Gohan Zeno. That's not you. Right here. Stats are... orbs. Okay, so not terrible defense. Attack is okay. I mean, again, pre-awoken. Attack damage plus 7%. Gain additional attack damage plus 20% for every super attack launched. Okay, so he's very similar to this Gotenks. Perform an additional super attack if the target enemy is in the attack down status, and this guy performs an additional super attack if target enemy is in the seal status. So, like, literally, they are almost the same unit. Interesting. Also on fusions, obviously. So I don't know. He's pretty good. Nothing really else to say about him. And now this is actually the unit I'm most interested by, and it's very weird because he's the free-to-play unit. So this is Cumber, extreme strength, free-to-play. So his stats are obviously not going to be the best. But for what he is, I feel like they tried to experiment with him, and they actually did a pretty good job. It's a very weird passive, so let's just go through it. Key plus 2 and attack and defense plus 50% off the bat, which is pretty good because, again, his links aren't the best, so key plus 2. I mean, just have prepare for battle, so I mean, it's still going to help out to have key plus 2. He has fear and faith, which is very weird. I don't know why he has that. Extreme class allies attack damage plus 20% when attacking the enemy. So I'm going to actually explain to you what this means. So if we take a look here, so this is literally where it says that. We've never seen this phrased quite like this before, like a support passive. It literally says, when you attack the enemy, extreme class allies gain attack and defense plus 20%. So I don't know if that means it's just when he attacks, and then that's it, or if you can get additionals, and then this will proc multiple times. That would be kind of crazy. I don't think that's how it works. If I was going to guess, I would say that's not how this works. But I do not know. If you give this guy additional and he additionals, even if he gets a normal attack and this procs, that's broken. Because we could see this come into play later with other units too. Okay, so then the next part of his passive is superclass enemies attack and defense minus 20% when receiving an attack. And that's very similar to, like I said earlier, when we looked at this guy's passive. he stuns enemies that attack him, right? Or this is not the right one. Yeah, or high chance to stun superclass enemies when receiving an attack. This guy lowers their attack when receiving an attack, right here. So my question then is, if this is able to stack this part, then this means that, or it's from here to here. That means that if that's stack 2, that if you're getting attacked like 4 times by someone, they're going to have literally 0 attack, which I don't think is the case. So I think it's a pretty safe assumption to make that this only procs 1 time in the turn, which is still pretty good, right? I mean, it makes him want to receive attacks and also want to attack. Like, obviously he wants to attack, but I guess you want to position him in a spot where you want to lower the attacking enemy's attack, basically. So if you're fighting in Super Battle Road and, you know, let's say, I don't know, you're on the Pure Saiyan stage and like one of the enemies is like, I don't know, Frieza, and he's attacking in slot 2, not slot 1, you're going to put this Cumber in slot 2 because you want his attack to be lowered. So, I mean, it makes you think a little bit more. It's just interesting. And then the last part is perform an additional super attack as the first attacker in a turn after receiving an attack. So it's a little weird. So right here, as the first... so when receiving an attack as the first attacker in a turn, you perform an additional super attack during that turn. It's kind of a weird way to word it, but that's like literally the literal translation of what that says. So this guy has a lot of like stipulations where he wants to be getting attacked, he wants to attack enemies. I feel like if they went down this route with like a Dokkan Fest exclusive, it could be extremely powerful, because like what if they had a thing where it's like all allies attacking demons plus 20%, all allies additional attacking demons plus 20% when attacking the enemy, all allies additional attacking demons plus 20% when receiving an attack. Like, I don't know, what if they did something like that? So they're basically introducing multiple ways in which you can proc different parts of your passive now. Instead of just, you know, at start of turn or when you launch a super attack and stuff like that. You know, as first attacker in a turn, if you get attacked, then this happens. If you're attacked, then this happens. If you attack the enemy, then this happens. It's like so many different layers they're adding onto the passive now that they can just continue making units even more broken because they're just doing more things. And they have more flexibility to do things than they used to. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like this passive so much. And then obviously his links are, you know, they're okay. They're kind of similar to the physical one that we saw, but that's pretty much going to do it. I know this was a little bit of a longer one. We're already at 27 minutes. This is why I don't do these kinds of videos that often, by the way, because I always get caught up in things. But let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I don't play the JP version, so I'm not going to be summoning for these guys. But I still am excited to see people use them. I am eagerly awaiting this guy. I think he's going to be probably a staple on the Dragon Ball Heroes team, and even maybe the Time Travelers team if you're going to make use of a lot of Dragon Ball Heroes units over there. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this breakdown. First time ever doing this sort of thing, and I will see you all in the next one.